at the Solomon Project, where it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep that counts. Listen, getting involved in the... Ooh, I had to hit this up real quick. Hey, this is from the professor, Tara Helms. She's putting that soap out. Wait a second. October, yeah. She'll be putting the soap out in October for you to purchase. And let me tell you something. Ooh. I went so far as to take this soap to the beach and bathe in the beach. People are looking at me like I'm crazy. But I'll tell you what. This soap is well worth looking crazy for. Hey, Jarrett. Hey, Vivalda. Hey, Positive Crash Outs. Thanks for coming on. It's Whip It Out Wednesdays, y'all. So basically, Whip It Out Wednesdays is to highlight the accounts of people who are not wealthy. People who have never engaged directly into the stock market. Maybe directly and yet indirectly through a retirement account offered through a job. But in those retirement accounts, you don't have direct say as to what you can purchase or can't purchase in your portfolio. You can request it. Not all brokers allow for it, but some brokers do allow for you to be able to take hold of your retirement account and make decisions on your own. Why do people have to be crazy and weird on YouTube? Because for some people, or for some reason, these weird and crazy people get a lot of subs. Yeah. So if that's what you're looking for, if subs are what you're looking for, if you're looking for followers and things like that, sometimes weird and crazy gets you a lot of people. Hold on a second, I might look weird and crazy too with all this, with all the bling bling on, but the bling bling has its own reasons and its own purpose. Oh, wait till October where you can get this soap and you won't have to worry about weird people anymore. Oh, not that? Okay, I'm not sure then. Let me put the soap away. I don't want to drop the soap while I'm on. So the first person I'm going to highlight is Jetta. Again, these people... Oh, okay. I got you, Vivalda. We'll address that shortly. So right now, so for today, Jetta's account is up. Hey, Stash Cash, thank you for coming on board, brother. So for Jetta, okay, so Jetta is family. Most of these people here on these things are family. And the thing is that it's taken a long time for them to take that step. I understand the fear, the uncertainty about taking a step forward and getting involved in the stock market. I understand it clearly. I started in 1996. Eventually I became a stockbroker, and then I abandoned it. I didn't renew my licenses. I had to get in order for me to fulfill my duties as a stockbroker, I also had to get a insurance license also, because I was opening up annuities for some of my customers. So in order for you to do that, you have to have a life insurance policy. Not a life, yeah, life insurance policy. But I didn't do anything outside of annuities with that license. But my focus was on investment products, stocks, bonds, things of that nature, and the occasional annuity. However, even with family, friends, anyone around me, especially people who grew up in the hood like I did. Nobody was around to really school you on the stock market, how useful it was, how you can engage with it, how you can acquire wealth, manage wealth, increase your wealth. And nobody's really around in the hood that could explain these things to you. So I come here on Whip It Out Wednesdays and I try to provide some kind of encouragement so that people can at least look into it, even if they choose not to participate directly. And here's one person, right? Matter of fact, yeah, let me start with Jeddah. So Jeddah's related to me, and he finally took the step. He finally went and opened up an account. It's a Webull account. He went through my link, opened up a Webull account, and now this doesn't sound very impressive for many people because of the low amount. Right now he's at $416. He's up 3% in one account because he's got two accounts under the same brokerage, and he's up 1% in another account that he has. Again, it doesn't sound impressive because so many people are used to going onto YouTube or wherever else they go, Instagram, and they see people playing with hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes over $1 million that they play with. But that's not a realistic starting point for people in the hood. This account that Jeddah has, it's at $416. He hasn't had it very long, and what he does is he contributes $20 a week. $20 a week, that's it. So $20 a week, who knows? It might be a little too much for some people, but then again, here's another family member that decided to go by the way of another link that I have in the description, and you'll find both the links in the description below. This one happens to be Acorns. This is a set it and forget it type of app, a set it and forget it type of brokerage. All brokerages will ask you certain questions in the beginning when you open up the account with them, and part of the reason is to establish what your risk tolerance is. The other part is to make sure that you're not using the brokerage for some nefarious reasons. But here it is. Now, this relative of mine is up to $823. We're talking about somebody that puts $1 a day away. $1 a day, guys. What's that? $7 a week? Hey, pretty. $7 a week? That, I mean, if you're from the hood, that's really something that I would imagine most people can do, and it really is an excuse killer. So here she is. She's making 8% return, and I'm gonna remind everybody, if you've never been to Whip It Out Wednesday and you never heard this before, I'm gonna tell you right now that the professionals that manage people's retirement accounts, like their 401ks, on average, they provide increases between 3 and 6%. That's a professional managing your account. And here's my niece on her own with this set it and forget it app, because that's really what it is. I mean, there's some stocks that you can pick and choose from, but it's a very limited number. However, what they do have a lot of are ETFs, exchange traded funds, and she's getting an average return of 8%. She's beating the professionals just with this alone. 8%, $1 a day. There's another one that's at $1 a day. Let's see who it is. Where are you? Okay, this is another relative of mine. Has $1 a day contribution. They're up to $265. $1 a day, and they're getting returns of 8.7%. 8.7% on the Robinhood app. Contributing $1 a day. Seriously, y'all. Seriously. But we got some people that are a little more committed. We've got, who's this? This is AJ. AJ was one of the first people that I highlighted. And AJ just today went up almost 1%. And they were contributing $35 a week. They bumped it up to $50 a week. So I think it's been about 3 weeks to a month that they've been doing $50 a week. Now this is something that they can tolerate. AJ can tolerate $50 a week. He had an increase in pay, and because of the increase in pay, he bumped up his contribution from $35 to $50. Now, a very important conversation that we had was, I asked him before he got his first raise, you know, can you do okay with what you're making now? And he said, yeah, he can do that. He's fine. He can pay his obligations, you know, the typical obligation that people have, the rent. And I'm over here running my mouth, and I don't even know if you guys can hear me okay, but excellent. You're still here, Vivalda. Thank you. And it was an important question because if he's going to start investing his money, it's got to be an amount that, should he lose it, he'll be okay with that. And not only that, with what he's making at the moment, is it something that he can continue the same lifestyle for a certain period of time, not forever, but for a short period of time. He can consider it a sacrifice, and it turned out to be $35 a week, and he got another raise recently, and he got to bump up his contribution from 35 to 50. He did that on his own. I didn't even have to encourage him to do that. He didn't even discuss it with me. He just went ahead and did that because he started to see the benefits of taking a portion of his money, and instead of increasing the amount of money he was spending on things he didn't need, he saw how investing in the stock market was more beneficial than doing all that. And he saw that in the future he would be able to eventually do well off the dividends that he's making off the stocks that are paying him dividends. Now, those dividends represent a type of income. So he's taking a portion of his money that's laying around doing nothing or potentially being spent to putting it somewhere where that it'll make more money for him. So he's up to $3,500 from zero, from being afraid, from not understanding this, from taking that huge leap. But let's go to CJ. CJ is more aggressive. And CJ, Wepa! What's up, Lily? So CJ is more aggressive. And CJ is dumping $100 a week. CJ is now up to $5,000, and CJ hasn't had his account as long as AJ has. Go Knicks. Okay, go Knicks. And by the way, I'm a New Yorker, so I'm good with that. Let's go Knicks. So here's CJ. CJ is much more aggressive, and not only is CJ contributing more, but CJ is dipping into options trading, and he laid down his first options trade, and he did very well. Of course, I'm teaching him, and he's going through the process, because on the surface, options might appear to be somewhat easy to figure out, but in reality, it's got way too many moving parts, and you can you can hurt yourself. You can hurt yourself easily, and you can lose a lot of money. But for his first trade, he did very well, and he's bumping his account up, and if he continues, he will be increasing the amount in his account faster than if he just stayed on. Yeah, I want to play the food. Hell yeah, I want to play the food. And yeah, these are all people, with the exception of one who's a content creator. These are all people who are making money. I know that there are people who come on YouTube and they want to get monetized as quickly as possible, but these people don't have channels. Like I said, with the exception of one, none of these people have channels, but yet they are making money with the stocks that are paying them dividends. So the beautiful thing about these stocks that pay dividends is that it's income that doesn't require a lot of your time, a lot of your attention. In fact, once you set it up, it could be nothing for attention or for time. Once you set it up, depending on the brokerage. Like, for example, my niece, who has that Acorn account, she doesn't do anything. She doesn't even have to check it. I think the only time she does check her account is when she sends me a screenshot every week, and that's about the only time. Other than that, Acorns takes care of everything. When you get a dividend, they reinvest it into your portfolio, and it's a done deal. I have another one here who's investing in M1 Finance, same deal. And M1 is an amazing platform. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Stuffed pasta shells, hell yeah. Send that sucker. I'll be waiting for it. So with M1, here's another one. Okay, I don't know why. Where is it? Okay, right here. $1,272. Now M1 is an amazing app, because M1 is really set it and forget it. Let's say you build a portfolio. They will allow you to build a portfolio up to 100 separate companies. And let's say, for example, all those companies pay a dividend. So you got 100 companies paying you a dividend every 3 months, or maybe one or two of them are paying you on a monthly basis. The thing is that when M1 receives the dividend payouts, they spread that money along with your contributions. They spread that throughout the entire portfolio. So let's say you have a stock XYZ that pays you a dividend. Many portfolios will take the dividend from that XYZ company and only buy more XYZ stock with the XYZ dividends. But in M1, it'll take it and put it together with all the other dividend payouts and all the other contributions and spread it along the entire portfolio. The thing is, you have to provide M1 with what percent of the contribution and the dividends you want in each particular company. For example, one company you might want 2%, another one you might want 3%, another one you might want 1%. However you want it broken down, that's how they'll do it. Excellent. You're still here, Webull. Thank you. So just to let you know that these people aren't professionals. They were never schooled on the stock market. They were just as afraid as the next person. There's only maybe one that has a college degree, just one. Everybody else just has a high school diploma. That's it. And they're making money in the stock market without even having to make such a ridiculous effort. Thank you for the likes, guys, by the way. And sure, make sure to like, that way the algorithm can pick it up. I'm gonna keep this live short because I have to keep it moving. I'm under a time constraint because I got to be in Knoxville, Tennessee by 9 o'clock in the morning. So I got a ways to go. And Vivalda, to address your question, yeah, so I mean, weird and crazy. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna find weird and crazy people in many people. Oh, thank you for that, pretty. No, you're fine, pretty. And thank you, Positive Crash, for the support. Thank you, everybody who came in and supported. There, so with regarding other people that pop up in other people's channels, their lives or whatever the case is. Hey, Lucy, what's going on? Thank you, Lucy. Thank you for the support. So what goes on there is that sometimes people's personalities don't necessarily jive together, and you know, if Yolanda can handle the craziness, or maybe the craziness doesn't bother her, or some crazy does and some doesn't, she's doing well. She's doing well handling it, and she has some moderators that'll take care of business. And I understand that, you know, sometimes some of these crazy people that show up may be a little too crazy for your own taste, but it's Yolanda's channel, and if she can handle it, she's okay. She's okay. She allows me in there, and Lord only knows how crazy I get sometimes. Some people don't really like my type of crazy. But when I'm on her channel, she allows me to be that type of crazy that I am. Some people have come onto my lives and my videos, and they stick around as long as they can, and I appreciate the fact that they come around and show some kind of support. Thank you, pretty, and thank you, Lucy. Yeah, so you know, it's not. Hey, Queen, look at this. All the love is just pouring in. Thank you, Queen. And some people can only tolerate some of my madness for a little bit, and they gotta go, because for some people it's a little over the top. I know that some people feel with some of the stuff that I get into might be a little too suggestive, and they would much rather leave, and I respect that. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and it's okay. Just the fact that they showed up, said hello, gave me a like, I'm extremely appreciative of that. I do well. Okay, Vivalda, I hope you heard some of that. I do well with my investments, so when I do whatever I do on YouTube, it's not with an interest to become monetized. Although, believe me, if I do get monetized, I'm not going to reject it. But I do support others that are trying to become monetized. I do go, and the ones that I pick and choose to go to is because I get to interact. Thank you, Lucy. Have a great evening. I love the interaction. Most of the people that I support tolerate me for a long period of time, and the engagement keeps me coming back. The fact they don't kick me out or put me on timeout and stuff like that. But I do love the engagement, and on occasion, I can have a serious conversation with people. I respect people's experiences. Sometimes people have traumas that they talk about on their channels, or they'll make comments about. I respect that. I don't downplay people's traumas. I know some people have a hard time gauging whether to try to be funny when somebody's talking about their traumas. I don't do that. I respect people's traumas, but yeah, I do try to make people laugh, and on occasion I go maybe a little too far for their taste. Like when I talk about putting my thongs on backwards, some people can't handle it. maybe that image is too much in their mind. But it's all good. So like I said, I'm going to keep this one short. I wanted to make sure that this Whip It Out Wednesday got out there, that everybody knows and understands what an amazing tool the stock market is, and how it's available for everyone here in the United States who's a citizen, and even for people who aren't citizens in their own countries. Sometimes they do have ways of accessing the stock market here in the United States. And I hope I find a way to encourage people to participate in it, and to be proactive and manage their own money, because nobody's going to manage your money the way you would. Hey, Coach! What's up, Coach? Yeah, This is about to be the tail end of this live. I was just summing up what the whole purpose of the Whip It Out Wednesday is. Basically to encourage people to use the stock market as the amazing tool that it is. And I highlight the accounts of people who are from the hood, just like me, that have never been exposed to the stock market other than meeting up with the HR person when you get hired from a job and they offer you a 401k and they tell you how great it is. It's actually great for the company because they get to deposit some of their money into your 401k as a tax deduction. And that's the main reason why companies would encourage you to get a 401k. Yeah, I got that drip going. What? Yo. Big money in the house. Where's the other one? I got a spinner too. Where you at? Right here. I got that dollar spinning right here. What? So that's the whole purpose behind Whip It Out Wednesday. And yeah, when it comes to money, you'll definitely catch me serious. When it comes to people's trauma and they're talking about their trauma, I don't joke around with people's trauma. But other than that, yeah, I guess I clown around a lot. Maybe too much for some people. Again, like I was saying before, Coach, I was explaining to my personality, and because I was talking to Vivalda and addressing a comment that she made about somebody else's channel and how some weird and crazy people show up. And that's just how it is. You've got your channel, and your channel is exposed to the public. Anybody can come along You have something to tell me, Vivaldi? Oh, you're gonna be the old you tomorrow? Okay, so you're gonna transform? All right. All right. That'll be interesting. Yeah, that'll be very cool, Vivaldo. Become your old you. Amazing. Well, everybody, I'm going to let everybody else go. Let you go on about your businesses. Stay fresh and keep it profitable out there. All right? I'll catch you on the next one. And come back and revisit the Whip It Out Wednesday today. Make sure to leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave your likes. Thank you, y'all.